Hello, everyone. Welcome to Table Reads on ScriptCamp. I am your host, Gray. And today, if anyone is new here and doesn't know what we usually do, we read scripts that people have submitted through the form online, and we go through and give feedback afterwards. And in participating in the reading or giving feedback of these scripts, you may earn script coins, which are currency here on the server. You can use it to buy various merch. And if you have 100 of them, you can buy a full-length reading of your TV pilot or feature film. So do keep that in mind. Willow says so professional. I'm glad you think that, Willow. You're my greatest advocate. I'm gonna post the coins blurb. Yeah. And maybe I can pull up the merch menu too. Don't think I've shown you guys. All right. Wait, no, that's the wrong. Go. There it is. There's all the stuff you can get for varying amounts of script coins.
Do you need another stream key, Joel?
No, we're still good. Sorry about that. Discord just crashed.
Oh,
I'm heading back to you now.
but yeah, did it cut off just there? Or is it still going?
The stream is still going. We just lost your voices for a bit.
Okay, got it. Yes. I'll start over just in case. Meme Wars from Jason S. This is a sci-fi/war short. Logline is, when the enemy attacks and lays siege to his small city, a jolly bus driver must entertain the masses in order to unlock the weapons required for victory. Comps are Black Mirror, Hunger Games, stuff like that. Feedback we're looking for. This is a very, very early first draft. Still have a few pages left. Any thoughts are fine. Content warning for war and violence. Anything to add before we start, Jason?
Yeah, this one's just been real quick. I did an outline of it last weekend, and this is the first 13 pages in the last day or two. So, curious how everyone's feeling. This should get us to the end of Act 2. And yeah, that's it.
Capital. And I will handle the action lines for this script. And I will start rattling off the different parts we have. If you want to read that character for the script, just speak up and I shall cast you. First is Daniel.
Me.
Ooh, I'll Dan.
Wait, no, give it to Dan. Give it to Dan. Give it to Dan.
Okay.
Dan, I bestow upon you one of the main parts, I think. Marcus, would you want to be Caleb?
Yes.
Thanks. Marcus and Dan. And Grace. Anyone for the part of Grace?
Grace? Hello?
Is that you, Lasagna?
Yes, it's me. I'm Lasagna. Can I be Grace?
Yes. And Jason, was there a Cassie in the script?
I'm sorry?
Let me check one more time.
Cassie is not in the script. She doesn't have any role yet.
Oh, you're right. Okay. I knew I saw it in there somewhere, but then I realized. Thank you, Jason.
No problem.
Melissa. Anyone for the part of Melissa? Melissa. For a delicious script coin. See, I can handle Melissa then. Esther. Anyone for Esther?
I'll take Esther.
Thank you, Willow.
I can voice any character.
Oh, damn.
Who, sorry?
Thank
Courtney?
you.
Okay. I can do it.
And Nacho, is it okay if I enlist you?
You can take me if you want.
Oh, dip. Joel, do you think you could get Melissa?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Joel. Bam, cast list. All right. Does everyone have the Meme Wars 226 PDF open?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. And we're just gonna go through the whole thing today of what we have. This will get us to the end of Act 2, I think we said. So here we go. Exterior bus stop, day. The doors to the bus swing open, revealing Daniel, 32, jovial with the belly to prove it. He waves in his riders. Selfie video point of view. Daniel waves at the camera.
Say hello to our evening riders.
Melissa, 58, bus ride regular, waves to the video.
Friends, have a great ride with us. Quite the host you've got.
Isn't she glad? I'm the luckiest man with the greatest job and the most wonderful riders to go ahead and hang out with me all day.
At the top right corner of the screen, we see a meter marked will points. His phone dings and the points increase to 837.
Thanks for the point donation. Your support means everything.
Comment chains scroll by at the bottom of the screen. Love the stream, so wholesome. You're my safe place. So he drives, that's it?
All aboard?
He presses the screen and it flips to face forward. We are now watching the bus drive its route from the dashboard. We steadily pull through an intersection and turn down a shady road with tall trees lining both sides. In point of view. The bus drive stops at a school crossing. Small children, hand in hand with their parents, cross the road. The bus is waved on and it continues its path. Exterior bus parking, night. The bus pulls into a gated parking area lined with identical municipal buses. Caleb, 53, short, sincere, and ready to go home. He sits on a bench holding a thermos. Daniel hops out of his bus, still in uniform.
You have a good ride?
Caleb pours hot tea into the thermos cap and hands it to Daniel.
Thanks, friend.
They cheers and sip.
I'm not sure how much longer this can go on.
All you need to do is wake up, help others get out where they need, wave to our wonderful neighbors as we pass by, and then go home to our families. You don't have to be like that.
I see the comfort in this predictable half, but you don't know what could be.
Maybe you know.
Daniel takes a sugar packet out of his pocket.
Overstepped it again.
The bitterness keeps me present.
A highbrow excuse for an overly indulgent man.
Caleb takes a big swig.
We should head home.
Daniel nods, finishes his tea, and blows a ring of hot breath into the cool night air. It dissipates as it rolls until it dissolves into the background of the light-polluted sky. Interior apartment, bedroom, night. Ding, ding, ding. Daniel jolts awake. He grabs his cell phone and stares at the screen. He takes a long, deep breath and sets down the phone. Grace, 29, groans a bit.
What is it?
In the corner of the bedroom, Cassandra, Cassie, 6, sweet and innocent, sleeps soundly, undisturbed by her parents. Daniel points with his head towards the door. Hallway. Daniel silently closes the bedroom door.
Is it happening?
Daniel nods. The two of them stand face to face. They kiss and embrace. They hold each other for a long while, then kiss again. They release each other.
Like we practiced.
I'll get her ready.
Living room. Daniel opens a closet inside a
I'm
pre-packed.
sorry, but can we please be just a little more serious? Please, it'd be helpful.
Yeah, let's play this one straight, guys. Living room. Daniel opens a closet inside a pre-packed backpack. Intercut with bedroom. Grace pulls a blue sweatshirt over Cassie's head. Daniel ties a pair of army boots. Grace opens up a safe and takes out a plastic bag full of documents, passports, and cash. Daniel stands in front of the door. Cassie sprints out of the bedroom and clings to her dad's leg. Daniel picks her up and gives her a squeeze and a kiss on the cheek.
Stay with mommy. I'll see you soon, I promise.
He hands her back to Grace, who tries to hold back tears down the stairs. There are men already ahead of him, and those entering the stairwell behind. Everyone is singularly focused. Exterior apartment building minutes later. Caleb stands outside the building, thermos in hand per usual. Daniel smiles and takes the metal cup.
Cup for a cold day?
We'll need more than warmth to sustain us.
They both sip on the tea. For a moment, life is simple. Boom! The shot is loud. Outgoing or incoming, impossible to tell.
It's time.
Daniel takes the swig and hands the cup back to Caleb. Exterior city square, morning. The city square is busy yet quiet. On one side, a table has been set up where rifles are being handed out. A long line of men extend out from there, around the fountain and down a main road. Exterior rifle line, morning. Somber, Caleb and Daniel stand in line. Overhead, the booming continues. In the distance, there's smoke. The two men in front of Daniel accept their rifle and then leave.
Are you ready?
Recording now.
Live stream point of view.
Hello, my fellow writers. I'm sorry to say, but no bus this morning.
Comments. Is that a gun? What is going on? God, now I need a new ASMR channel.
The enemy is here, which means one thing only. Sir, what do we have here?
Soldier 1, eyes deepest, face devoid of emotion, hands him an AK-47. Daniel takes it and smiles. Over there for the rest. He points to an area in the corner of the public square. Daniel's phone dings with a notification. Upgrade, 500 points.
An upgrade. Let's see what it is.
Daniel clicks accept. Exterior corner of square, morning. Continue live stream point of view. We see a circular stone ring on the ground, 2 meters in diameter. A red handprint glows in the middle.
Let's see what's inside.
Daniel places his hand on the print. It glows orange, then the sound of a bugle is revealed from the phone. A bright light extends from the handprint and divides the circle in two. From the dividing line, the two halves of the stone circle retract and a platform within raises. Daniel claps. Now fully surfaced, a large trunk painted in city camouflage.
Very on theme. I think the trumpets brought together the presentation.
He undoes the clasps and lifts the top open.
Heavy duty materials. You could tell care was put into the construction. Look at that.
We close up on the insides of the trunk. We see army fatigues, grenades, a new assault rifle, and sights.
Like this, I'll look like a proper army man. Good thought.
Comment. Bristlemeister sends a gun emoji, bang emoji, bang emoji, in point of view. Exterior city. The outskirts day. A helicopter flies low, just above houses and buildings. It looses rockets that fly over the horizon. The helicopter tilts up and flies away, but is struck. It spins out of control, and exterior concrete barrier, day. A helicopter crashes into a small house and explodes. Caleb steps out from behind the concrete barrier, fires a few rounds, and then takes cover behind.
I don't think we could hold them back much longer.
Up ahead, a tank rolls forward. 2 infantrymen, one on either side, march alongside the tank. The tank fires. A chunk of the concrete barrier behind Caleb explodes.
I'm on a point. We need something, anything. Do you have any ideas?
I don't know. This is your thing, Daniel. I never thought we would need to use our points.
The ground shakes.
Wait,
What?
do you hear that?
I hear quite a lot. I need to be more specific.
I've got it.
Come back.
Daniel sneaks off into a mess of charred cars behind them. Exterior enemy troops, same. The enemy advances. They open fire blindly into the street. Intercut with exterior charred car, day. Daniel and Caleb sit against the car. Daniel holds her jacket close against his body. Caleb works furiously on Daniel's phone.
That was great. Is it ready?
An enemy soldier pistol whips a man who falls unconscious at their feet. A woman holds her child and cries. Caleb continues to swipe and resize things.
You need to work faster.
I'm almost done.
The enemy soldier fires. The woman cries hysterically. The soldier opens fire. The woman and her child slump into the man.
Posting.
Caleb presses the post button on his phone. Exterior charred car, day. Phone point of view. Daniel stands crouched against the car.
I found it, our secret weapon. Come closer, you can see.
The camera zooms in, and Daniel opens up his jacket. The camera continues to pull in tighter, and we see a bright glint.
Strategic infantry attack kitten.
The kitten leaps out of his inner jacket pocket and climbs up Daniel's chest. The kitten finds refuge in the nape of Daniel's neck. There it snuggles in and shakes. Daniel pets the kitten. The perimeter glows pink, and hundreds of hearts blossom out of the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. End point of view.
That was good. Really good.
That's going to be enough. Be enough.
A missile flies overhead. It crashes into a building marked Dr. and Dr. Durbin's Family Dentistry. The building explodes with a deafening shockwave. Daniel and Caleb are thrown from their feet. Daniel crawls forward, blinded by the smoke around him. He desperately searches and finds it. He pulls the phone into his chest and rolls over, hugging it. Bing! A notification reads, "Upgrades available." Daniel clicks the notification. The phone lights up Daniel's face in the dense smoke. He scrolls through options and settles on one.
Caleb?
Caleb coughs. Army crawls up to Daniel.
Yeah, what do you want?
We need to move. Can you run?
Yes, I can. Where to?
The phone reads 10,000 points confirmed. A map with a GPS pin on it appears on his phone. Exterior sky, day. A parachute opens. A crate hangs from the chute and descends onto the battlefield. Series of shops, getting to the drop. Caleb lays suppressing fire as Daniel runs down the street. Ahead of them, a parking garage. The parachute collapses atop the structure. Caleb points. They run into the car park. They run up the stairs, panting and struggling to keep pace. Daniel stops. He can barely breathe. Caleb throws an arm around him, and they continue their ascent. Exterior, parking garage roof, day. Caleb and Daniel hobble through the crate, identical to the one before. Daniel places his hand on the lid, pops open. We hear his phone reveal. Daniel reaches in, grabs what's inside, and pulls hard. He hoists an ATGM anti-tank guided missile onto his shoulder. He flips on the switch and takes aim. Phone point of view. The missile fires. It flies high into the air and then inverts so that it comes down vertically onto the top of the tank. It explodes twice on impact. The turret of the tank instantly shoots skyward and falls to the ground, crushing an enemy soldier beneath it. Super. Boom shakalaka. Comments. Fuck those invading noobs. Karma's a bitch, so is that guy. Exterior parking garage entrance, day. Caleb and Daniel exit the car park. They sit down on the ground, panting, trying to collect themselves.
Why? Why are you doing this? What did we do? What did that girl do? She was just there.
That's why. She was there. Just like you, me, Grace, and your little Cassie were just here and...
Honk honk. Esther, 7'9", stoic and determined, pulls up in a beat-up sedan.
That missile! Was that you two?
It was all him.
Again, you're needed. The enemy's trying to cross the bridge.
Caleb and Daniel look at each other, blank-faced.
Get in the car, please.
We need to go with her for Cassie.
Daniel nods. Caleb helps him up, and the two climb into the back seat. Esther steps on the gas, and they're off. Interior car, day. The three of them drive through the city. Apartment buildings smoke, and the loud bangs can be heard as they go. They drive around huge craters in the roads and around hedgehog defensive barriers. He pulls the car to a stop.
This is as close as I can go.
Caleb and Daniel climb out of the car.
Thanks for the ride. We need to take shelter. It's not worth it.
It is not the first time someone has tried to kill us. They could not erase us then, and they will not now. I may not be able to fight with a gun, but I can fight my own way.
Careful, please.
They shut the doors. Esther does not respond. She just turns the car around and leaves. Moments after exiting the barrier, boom, a stray rocket hits Esther's car. It is instantly overturned and set aflame. Daniel runs toward the car, but Caleb stops him.
She's gone. We need to help where we still can.
Daniel looks down, shrugs, and turns back around towards Caleb.
You're right. Let's go.
Exterior bridge barrier, day. A convoy of tanks and assault vehicles are lined up as long as the eye can see. It snakes its way down the city roads. A group of 50-plus enemy infantry lead the spearhead. They drink from flasks and fire their guns into the air. Bang! One falls dead, then another and another. Phone point of view. Courtney, 26, stunningly beautiful with long blonde hair. She dances in place in front of a positioned sniper rifle. She spins around and blows a kiss at the camera.
And for you?
He crouches and drops down to all fours, looks down the scope, takes a deep breath, and fires. She looks up from the scope with an alluring wink.
And one for them.
She fires again. End point of view. Caleb records the video on his phone and begins to edit.
How does it look?
Daniel, now wielding a huge auto rifle, steps out from behind the barrier and opens fire. Downrange, scores of soldiers run directly into the line of fire before collapsing into a pile.
We have a problem.
What do you mean?
He steps back out of cover and opens fire again. More enemy soldiers are mowed down. Hundreds are now flooding the entrance to the bridge. Like a zombie wave, they climb over the corpses of their brethren to run headlong into enemy fire.
I don't have a signal. I can't post.
Can't post. You need to post. I am running out of rounds.
Daniel opens fire again and stops. He is out of ammo.
I'm out.
Point?
I'm out.
I have enough for a couple clips.
That's not enough.
Caleb's phone vibrates. He looks down on it, makes a selection, and runs off.
Stay here. Hold ground.
Series of shots. The charge. The enemy soldiers notice the pause in the gunfire. Like a horde of barbarians, they charge. Caleb opens the door to a sedan. Caleb puts the car in reverse. He backs up and speeds off. The enemy is closing in. They are halfway across the bridge. A few are picked off, but more fall in and fill in the gaps. Caleb drives the car past Daniel and their defensive line. The enemy fire blindly at the defensive line as they run. They scream. Caleb drives headlong into the charging enemy soldiers. Interior car, day. Caleb grips the steering wheel tight. Bullets tear through the windshield and shred the car. Blood runs down his face as gunfire ricochets off his car.
Glory to our people.
The phone reveals. Exterior, defensive line, day. A blast rocks their position and knocks everyone to the ground. Rah! The bridge groans and collapses upon itself, sending a plume of smoke and dust high into the air. All right, great job reading, everyone, and thank you, Jason, for sharing. Also, I did not read out loud the usernames of the people making comments on the streams, but I encourage you all to go back and look through them because, like, I think that's also relevant to the theme here. But let's see. But yeah, let's start with feedback now. Zach, is it all right to start with you? Wait, sorry, I should read through what we're looking for first. Feedback we're looking for. This is a very, very early first draft. Still have a few pages left. Any thoughts or not? Hey, Cindy, your mic is on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. When you finish typing your feedback, Zach, I will read it out loud. Willow, did you have any feedback?
I'm looking back at it. I'm not gonna lie, I got really confused. I'm looking back at where the transition was like he was making videos of people on a bus. Then he was with Grace. And then there was an all-out war, and somehow I missed the transition. I missed who the bad guys are. I got really confused. One thing I was wanting was he was finding these upgrades, but he wasn't really using like an upgraded thing on the upgrade. Got like, okay. Ooh, so something. All right, now let's see how
Robot Willow.
what now what this does. And oh
The lag.
no!
The lag is real.
Oh,
Maybe back now?
The way you
I'm
lag
sorry,
is the
Will.
funniest thing.
We'll
It was
remember
like a
you
video game
fondly.
glitch. It was kind of horrific, but in a good way.
Yeah, that was some Eldritch shit right there. But if you type up your feedback, I'll read that out too. Let's see. Don't think Zach has like a paragraph of feedback yet, but Zach says this weirdly reminds me of Wreck-It Ralph a lot. Oh wait, that was during the read. Also, sorry, Jason, I did not see your message during the reading. I for some reason wasn't watching the stream. I was just like looking at the file on my computer. I don't know why I did that. But yes, it will be good if everyone can like save using it up for like funny scripts. But yeah, I will make a point to mention that in later scripts. So sorry, Jason. Okay, Zach says, really like what I read. Some great action sequences. The use of points to charge weapons, if I've got that right, is a great little gimmick. It looks like they've all been asked previously to build their points to prepare for this war. All right, thanks, Zach. And Willow, if you have feedback, please type it. I'm sorry that you've been relegated to robot status. SJ, did you have any feedback? Okay, new. Okay, that's fine, SJ. Sarah Bell, did you have any feedback?
I think I jumped in the middle of the action, and I thought the action was pretty great. That's really the only feedback I have because I didn't hear the whole thing.
Oh, that's okay. Thanks, Sarah Bell. Roman Elliott, any feedback?
I think there's some interesting concepts. I'm not sure if it, like, I agree it was a little bit confusing in parts where, like, it just sort of, like, happens, like, we just jump into it. And I do like this idea of, like, like, we see in comments and stuff like that. I think that's interesting, and the action can be quite good in parts. And I think the dialogue is fairly good. So I like it. I just some things to make it more clear maybe, but I think overall it's a good start for sure.
Thanks, Roman Elliott. Nacho, did you have any feedback for the script? Nacho. Apologies in advance. I think you guys are going to hear my stomach rumbling a lot during the stream. I'm hangry. Marcus, did you have any feedback?
Yeah, I think this is kind of just something that everybody's kind of saying, so I guess I'm going to echo that same sentiment a bit. I'm very lost tonally with this. Like, in terms of like the regard of just the logistics of how things play out, right? Like you have the opening of the bus, and then you get into the little downtime where he has the whole scene with where is it? With Grace, and then it completely switches out to an all-out war. Like I personally don't really see the transition there at all. It's very very rough. Maybe this is just a me thing. I was very confused for at least the first like 8 pages. I found it very hard to follow because I didn't feel like, or I didn't really see that there was any real setup for a lot of the concepts, such as like purchasing points to buy weapons. And I think there's an interesting way of doing that you have here, where it's like you're showing it straight up instead of like taking any time to explain to the audience, right? It's just I feel like that might be something that the script might benefit or the story might benefit from by just introducing that first, and like almost like I don't know what you're going for here specifically, so this might kind of be a master plan type moment, right? But it just seems like it might be best to start off with the war itself, if that is any consolation. You might lose like the depth of the characters that you're trying to build here, but in a way it gets us to the stuff that we kind of are going to be interested in. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. The stuff that we would need a lot more context to, being the power ups and whatnot.
All right, thank you.
Good job, otherwise. Really good action lines.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus. Lasagna, did you have any feedback?
Hello, I do. I really like your script and the way, like, how you write the action lines. I love your writing. I guess I'm with everybody else in being lost tonally, and I felt like the story was pretty linear in the way that, like, we just sort of spend all this time on the war, and I get that because it's a war, but I also kind of I wonder if you want to give the characters depth, or if you want to like delve into them a little more. And if you do, I'd recommend making the opening scene a little longer, like he's making videos and he gets to spend time with his family, and we just see him doing all this stuff, and we see more comments and engagement and whatnot. I guess that's what I want to see. Like, I want to, like, because, like, as of right now, I guess it's sort of with the message you're going with. I guess I don't really feel a reason to really care. And that sounds like cruel and dystopian because they're going through a war, and I understand that's like your message, how this is like dystopic, because you have told me before in a way that people have to engage with these people in order to care about what they're going through. Um, and like, I guess I want to see more of that in the script, of like me caring about these people and like what they're doing in a way. Just like I want to get to know them a little better before we jump into the war, I suppose. Or if you're going with Marcus's idea of jumping straight into the war, I do want to see like downtime moments or something where the characters are talking, or we get to see flashes of their family or something, like moments where they're reflecting. I guess that's sort of what I'm saying, and that is all I will say. I really like the way you write, though. So, and I love the will points concept. I just like your concept in general, and I enjoy your message. That is all. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Liz. Let's see. Aliska, did you have any feedback for the script? There was vacuuming outside my room. All right, Dan, did you have any feedback?
Yeah, a lot of it is mostly just the same as what other people have been saying, though. A lot of just the Toad Whiplash is a little heavy. You know, it's like we jump right from this jovial, I'm going to say terminally overweight, because you did say and he introduced him as jolly, and that's the last time he's jolly. It's right there. So I get a tonal whiplash, maybe saying, "Oh, this guy is going through some really tough things," but I don't know. I think we needed more time with him. If we're gonna go with thrust into a bad world, he needs more time in that world to be before being thrust. Because I was reading him like, okay, he's this guy who's like he's like this Twitch TV streamer who's streaming his bus rides as a bus driver. And I was like, okay, that in and of itself sounds like a really cool concept. I've never considered the idea of bus driver streaming. So, but then it becomes war. It just feels very hard. It just sounded like you had a good idea and then you went to another potentially good idea, but it just needed more time for us to be like, we need to be thrown into this idea.
I guess the one thing, and I totally get what everyone's saying. What conceptually what I'm trying to do is for there to be like an on-screen and an off-screen. And that on-screen, the tone is silly, zany, meant to draw attention and to garner support. And then off screen is like the horrific realities.
And that's why I was giving him. I thought when that's the tone I was picking up from what I was reading about him. So that's why I gave
Well,
him a jolly, silly voice.
you
Not
did that
because I
one.
was sticking around, but because I thought, oh, okay, this is silly.
You never left that space. Like even when it was serious, you still stayed in that. And that's why I was trying to say, like, can you be serious when it's meant to be serious? Obviously, when it's in the on-screen moments, fine. But that's why I asked that.
I guess that's all I can say is that we just need to make the transition from what is on screen and what is not. Also, if there was there a large amount of time between him getting gifted this gun and then suddenly going into like this super war? Because if that's actually him fighting, he's this very fat man in doing big combat stuff. I don't know. It just doesn't really.
It literally happened. It's been happening this whole year. It like literally just happened. This exact same scenario. Like overnight massive invasion, normal people having to pick up guns to defend their homes. Like that literally just happened.
No, I'm not saying turn him into like some sort of have our protagonist be a Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just I don't know. I'm not sure how much I can buy the idea of dad bod being being savior of the world.
I didn't say he was, but I'm just saying that it's been happening a lot literally this year, like normal people, like janitors and taxi drivers and like who are doing that and have had to. So I don't see that there's anything wrong with that being possible.
No, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that usually the likes of this person isn't going to be. I don't know. I don't know. Usually the elderly, the unfit, those people usually aren't the ones who are going to live through an invasion. Am I making sense?
I'm just saying I'm just saying that like your statement is, and I guess what people are getting is that the issue is, but I'm just saying that what you're saying is like your issue to me, I just don't think makes sense because it goes against the reality of what is literally occurring in this current moment in time. So that's what I'm just saying is like, I understand the critique that like, it feels a little strange to have a guy who's like who's overweight in like this role. But I'm just saying like, it's literally happening.
All right.
All right, thanks, Dan. Cindy, did you have any feedback?
I came in right at the end, honey. Otherwise, I would have
Oh,
something
that's
to
right.
say.
Dang it. Sorry, Cindy.
But that's okay. Hook me up for the next one
Woo.
to read.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Thank you.
Joel, did you have any feedback?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, got it. Let's see. Willow wrote some stuff that I keep forgetting to say. Okay, Willow says, was really into it, but got confusing when the battle started. Not sure if I missed something. Who are we fighting? What are we fighting for? Would have liked to see the upgrades used to establish the weapons. What does each weapon do? What kind of dangers are they facing? I was kind of waiting for them to die and respawn. All right, thanks, Willow. And let's see. Finish up with my thoughts, which I am confused, but there are a lot of aspects I like. I like sort of the relationship between the usernames and what the messages they're sending are saying. I think that's a cool detail. Sorry if you like specifically outlined it before and I just didn't pick it up. But the enemy that we never like, I don't think we ever like clearly define it. but I assume it's the concept of the other. And and I think it really is a cool idea to like leave details ambiguous. Like clearly you want to give some visual, or else or is it that we never see them on screen and we only ever see like our protagonists fighting, like shooting them from a distance? But yeah, I'm into the ambiguity. But whatever symbolism or story point you're going for, I think you might have to give us a few more leads in terms of what you're going for. If I think of more stuff to say about it later, I will type it in the chat or DM you. I don't want to just sit here and like gloss over it because it is very complex, and I am interested in where it's going. But I will give you more articulate feedback when I get a minute to think about it. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Jason. I hope some of the feedback helps.
So, I have something to add. Am I robot? Can you hear me? Am I robot?
I can hear you.
All right, I'm trying.
Going good.
So, what I first thought when it switched to the war was, all right, well, here's this guy who's streaming. He's a streamer. He's doing this bus. He's got a family. He has an audience. And then, oh shit, the war just broke out in his neighborhood. And so now we're this totally ordinary and and now suddenly he becomes like war soldier. He is not a soldier.
We're losing you, Willow.
I'm sorry, Willow. This always happens, but I will make sure to read your like not just contemplations from the chat. So like if you want to type it out, then I will pause later to read through it because I do want to hear what you had to say. Just fate is not on our side today. But yeah, let's see. Thank you so much for sharing, Jason. And thank all of you for reading and giving your feedback. As always, if you have any additional feedback, I can always read it out later. Let's see. All right, so the next script is Spiegel by me. This is a dramedy TV pilot. Logline is against her better judgment. A depressed violinist enters a collaborative music competition. Now she must face her worst fear, human interaction, or else doom her fellow musicians to failure. Feedback, anything you got? Also, any
I
suggestions?
think Aliska wanted to give. No, it's Aliska. Sorry.
Oh, wait. Oh yeah, Aliska, I think I did mention you.
No,
but
it's
it was
okay.
quiet.
This is the second time I've been skipped. It's okay. I said what I had to say in the chat.
Okay. Like farther up? Or just like a bunch of different little messages along the way?
Well, first of all, based on Jason's comment, he said that he wants to portray any nation that is forced to have to depend on essentially what is the military-industrial complex. I think that is a very abstract idea to most people. So you have to ascribe these things through the writing, through actual real people, a real nation. Because you were saying over the past year, this has been going on, right? In the chat. So what other nation has been going through this besides Ukraine, where regular everyday people, the baker, the taxi driver, is picking up a weapon to go against a real enemy, not a quote unquote enemy, a real enemy. Okay. So do you have it? Are you able to tell me,
Yeah,
like, is
I
there another
can.
nation that's picking up
Syria,
arms? Okay, in
Yemen,
Syria, that's been going on since 2011. You
Israel,
said this
Palestine.
year,
These are
this year. That's been going
yes.
on for
I.
hundreds of
What
years.
are you? What are you trying to
What I'm
say?
saying is you said a year in the past year, right? So now I'm asking you,
Like,
what
yeah,
other nation?
it's very
And
visible. It's been
wait,
very
let me
visible.
finish. Let me finish what I'm trying to say, because I'm the one giving the feedback, right? Okay, you said in the past year. Okay, so do you want to go back to the past decade or century? Or are you going to stick with the year?
I'm just curious what you're at. What's the point of the line of questioning? Like, what are you trying to get to? Because I used the last year as an example of it,
Okay,
but this isn't
and
a
that's what I'm
one-time thing.
saying. That's what I'm saying, Jason. Over the past centuries, since 2011, it's been Syria. I understand what you're saying. I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is that if you want to show your idea, because I do understand it, and when they were reading this, I saw the Ukrainians picking up weapons in their own defense. Okay, so it got across to me what you were trying to say. Why didn't it get across to everybody else? So what you have to do is you have to be specific and give us the concrete, because talking in abstracts about this, it doesn't work. It's a script. But I thought you had some really good dialogue. I thought that you've really significantly improved over the past just a few months. I thought you had some really good action stuff going on, but I was confused a lot. That was about the only thing that I got was um, this is a picture of what's going on over there now, the more recent thing. You have to be specific. There were some things in the script it was completely over my head. I did not understand what you were saying, because you were not exploiting every scene to its maximum capacity that you could have. And that would happen by fleshing out the characters in the scenes, like some of the people have already said, and going deeper into that and into who they are. I it's a great message what you're trying to put out there. I don't disagree with you. I totally get what you're saying. But you have to choose tangibles, because it's a script. If you're writing a novel, it's a different story. You can say whatever you want. And, well, clarity, brevity, and the other thing, I guess, So I've been in the military. I read about Ukraine every single day. Okay, I've read books about Syria. I've written articles about Syria. I've written articles about a lot of different things related to what the topic that it sounds like it's a passion for you. So go deep into yourself to bring out these people's lives. Maybe do some research and find some real people, that have something to say about this. There are a lot of resources on this. I think you should keep working on it, definitely. I think you're doing a good job. You just have to, I think because I struggle with this too. I think a lot in the abstract. So I'm always like, okay, what image, what action can I ascribe to this abstract idea to help people understand? there wasn't a lot of dialogue either. I mean, even with dialogue, some of your dialogue I thought was really great, like in the beginning. But I think that you needed to maybe, definitely needed to explore this idea of yours through the dialogue, I think. Because you really can't cover all of these, unseen things, ideas, ideology, right? Through, it's very, very hard to capture that through images and action. So, what are we left with? We are left with conversations between people. What are they talking about? You could have explained the whole thing of what you said about the smaller nations being dependent on these weapons dealers, whatever exact, I don't remember exactly how you said it, the bigger picture, right? Essentially, I mean, I don't know if you're from the United States. I imagine you are, but there's a lot. I mean, I think Dan has even put out some ideas about what you're talking about, which are really interesting in the past. I've, not recently, but like in the past. And I think that just if you had Daniel, was it Daniel? I think it was Daniel. Him having a conversation with somebody else in the script about this, exactly what you're talking about, would give so much more context to, oh, that's what he's trying to say. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about this, this idea of, these smaller nations, and, there's a lot of things that have come before this, I'm sure. And a lot of these things can be exploited for this kind of script, this story. And that's why I stay away from writing these kind of stories, because it's very controversial and very few people actually even read about these things. They don't care. How many people do you know are really sitting there watching the hearings about Ukraine, watching the listening to all of the nuclear scientists, talking about how close we are to a nuclear war right now? Nobody is paying attention. I mean, these things can be explored, and so it's like everyone is just going on about their regular lives when we're closer to a nuclear war than ever right now. Even we're closer now than we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis. We've had the Zaporizhia stuff going on. There are people, tens of thousands of children in cancer hospitals. Okay, there's a lot that can be explored. And so if it's a passion of yours, then go really deep into the main character,
Let's
Just
go
go
to
really
10
deep
minutes.
into the main character and make it his passion, right? So he's going to have these conversations with people, and then your readers are going to understand, oh my gosh, that's what he's talking about. That's crazy, right? Okay, anyways, I'll
Are we
stop
wrapping
talking.
up?
Thank you, Val.
Thank you, Aliska. Hang on. He give you script coins after. But yeah, as I said, I'll give more articulate feedback later. Table read that you had an idea about, just tag me and I'll read it out loud. But yeah, thank you, Aliska. Also, guess it goes without saying, but you guys are free to continue discussion. Well, no. I'll think of how to word it correctly, but let's see. The next one is Spiegel. It's dramedy TV pilot. Logline, we were saying, against her better judgment, a depressed violinist enters a collaborative music competition. Now she must face her worst fear, human interaction, or else doom her fellow musicians to failure. Feedback, anything you got, general, blah, blah, blah. No content warning. There's 4 characters plus direction. Anybody want to read direction?
Natural. Natural said that he had feedback for Jason. That is all.
I'm skipping everyone. I think I did call Nacho, right?
You asked.
You did.
Okay,
Nacho
great.
didn't say
I
anything.
was afraid I like broke down and actually forgot people. But go ahead, Nacho.
It's okay if you're moving on. I can just share with Jason after the
Oh no, I want
Sounds
to. I mean, if you're okay with me hearing it, I want to know what you think.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, so it took me. Sorry, it took me a while to read this one just to kind of follow the story. I would really suggest to kind of maybe just go back to the central conflict. Like, is this a story about someone who is like? First, I would just decide about are you either lean more into the comedy, the kind of like memes and influencer, sort of like jokes and that maybe almost more like a found footage kind of thing, or lean more into the action and danger, I guess. I mean, I guess you can kind of do both, but it's a very complex sort of world and rules that you're, to convey in a short, I think is very difficult. I feel like this might be a little bit easier to write as a feature or a pilot, just something where you have a little bit more time to kind of set up what this world is like and everything. But I think just I would go back to kind of the central conflict, right? Is this about someone who is so Daniel, a jolly bus driver, must entertain the masses, right, to unlock weapons or something. I would echo the comment that it kind of felt a little bit more like video games, less about like memes and influencer kind of humor. But I think if Daniel is like, what kind of person is going to have the most difficult time to entertain people, right? So like maybe someone who is not very entertaining and jolly and doesn't have a lot of fans it just felt like he's kind of like, first, we're not exactly sure what, like how this world works. So you might need to sort of telegraph and like spell out like, how this works. Like this is, someone starting this, whatever, just joined the meme army or whatever this is. And it's like, what do you have to do? You have to go and like unlock your weapons. You have to start here. And the first thing you have to do is this. And just kind of make it clear, have that character be somebody who is the last person we would expect to be able to do this, or somebody who's going to have like a really, really difficult time. Like either it's somebody who's just like maybe really out of shape and they're doing like physical things that you don't expect them to be able to do. Or it's like, if this is more about like, I don't know, being funny and like, getting like live stream viewers to press buttons to like make donations or something, then make it somebody who is like really bad at it, like just really boring person to watch, and they're trying to like be entertaining or something, right? And then there's somebody else who's like really good at it, and we're seeing that person. And I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but like there's a great script about influencers, which was called it was like from the Blacklist, I think a year or two ago, and just really well done. They're doing like kind of pranks on each other and stuff like that, but it's actually like, like I would say like a psychological thriller. And I'm just gonna share that with you.
Is that Birdies? Because I think I read that one.
No, that's a pretty good one too. That's a nice script by Colin Bannon, but this was called. I don't know. Anyways, I'll find it and post. Oh yeah, it was called Follow. Yeah, and it's just kind of like really elegantly describes, and I think like we kind of lose. And this is a smaller thing, but just like I would use your scene headings and put in parentheses, like kind of like make the whole scene be like kind of found footage thing, like, you know, this is, you know, a selfie video, or this is like an Instagram thing, or whatever it is, you know, just like it kind of gets buried a little bit in the, you know, like the more serious scenes, right? And just either, yeah, lean more into the comedy or more into like kind of thriller action. But I think it's, to me personally, like I think the comedy would make it a little bit easier to kind of get invested in it. And yeah, those are my main suggestions. Just, you know, there's some lines that were, it was just like a little bit confusing or kind of hard to follow. And then also the enemy, like you really, I know they're meant to be sort of like ambiguous in a way, but you really have to describe what they look like on the screen for the reader, right? You just like the enemy advances, they open fire, but what do they look like? Are they in camouflage? Are this tanks? Is this a man? Like, and just, you know, a little bit more, kind of like, I guess, what is Daniel's main goal that he's trying to do? And that could be just a way to kind of like, you know, get the reader rooting for Daniel, right? Like, oh, it's really hard for Daniel to do this, so I really want to see him succeed, whatever this thing is that he's trying to do. And he's trying these different tactics. And it could be, yeah, I think it could be more funny if he's like, you know, the last person we expect to be able to do this, you know? But
Totally
yeah,
get it.
I look forward to
No,
reading
thank
more. Yeah. And I'll share, I've maybe like the bit more notes in the Advanced Lab channel.
All right, thank you, Nacho. And yeah, anytime like I forget one of you guys or like you just have more feedback to give, like don't hesitate to tell me. But yeah, I always like hearing it. But hang on, I think we went over the details just a couple times. But the next one I made, it's Spiegel. And yeah, if you didn't hear the information the first time, like it's right here in Table Reads info. But let's just get to the casting. Did anyone want to read direction?
I'm fine with it.
That was Marcus.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Cindy, you wanted a roll, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. Would
You
mind?
give me who you think I should be.
Oh, dipped in. I'm gonna give you Alexis.
Alexis, all right. Now I can't see the script or anything.
If you click on my stream, I will display it in just a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And who wants to be Fee? Anyone?
Who do you think I should voice?
Dan, would you be Cyrus, please?
Okay.
And I can take Phil.
Woo! Thank you, Phil.
Wait,
Who's that?
that I'll be Fee. I didn't hear anyone else take it.
Oh,
Unless
Wait,
someone
is this
did.
all this is your script?
yeah.
This is your script? Oh my
Oh,
god,
this
can I
is
be
the one
someone?
that's great.
Oh, damn. Ah. I
Is
need
there
to
no
have
more?
people in it.
Can you make up a role for me?
Yeah, just write a whole character right now, quick.
Oh,
You can do it.
Yeah,
some onomatopoeia. If you feel compelled to add onomatopoeia during the script lasagna, it's like turn off your mic, turn on your mic and do it.
Yeah, you have to do the sound effects. Do it now. Do everything that could possibly make an onomatopoeia or a sound. You gotta do it.
I believe in
I got you, I got you.
utmost confidence. Okay, does that look right? That's what everybody wanted? I'm gonna blow you away with my spelling skills.
Let me open up this script.
Bam.
I have got it on the stream for you now. If anyone was there.
Onomatopoeia.
I spelled it right, didn't I? I'm a.
I think so. I can
I
never
no
spell the
idea.
word. I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But have fun with this one, guys.
get started. Interior elevator day. Alexis shakes her feet nervously and waits for the elevator doors to close. Checks the time on her phone. 9:48.
I'm gonna. I can't read it very good. I'm going to. It's not bright
Die.
enough here.
Oh, there's a link in the table reads info channel if you want to go look at that.
Oh, okay. In the table reads channel.
Table reads info, not the one in the voice chat.
Okay, where is it at now? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a bonehead.
No, it's okay. Table reads info channel in the server, but not in the voice chat.
You were pinged.
So I know I've got table reads off to the left. Big print table reads. And where? Oh, table reads info. I see it. Thank you.
Yay!
I got it. Woo!
Did it.
All right, give me one little second here.
Whoop, whoop.
And the PDF is called Dying Help.
Dying help.
Now, where did it go? Come on. What you ever feel like running away?
Every day.
Where
What am I
everybody
doing with-
like, knows something about me that I can't remember.
Ah!
I got scared, man. I gotta run.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm so sorry to
Oh,
be
yes.
holding everybody up here.
I forgot to put
Uh,
in context. This is halfway through the episode, and she has to be at a place at 9:45, but she's
Oh.
late.
Okay. She shakes her feet nervously. The elevator doors open. Checks the time on her phone. I'm going to.
Sorry, could you hold the door open?
Down the hallway, a poker-faced young woman holding a binder and a coffee cup power walks toward the elevator. This is 5:22. Alexis locks eyes with her as the doors shut. Alexis is already late. There's no time.
Hello?
Fi breaks into a jog.
Please.
Sorry, I'm. Dear.
Fi drops her coffee. The door's shut. Inside the elevator, Alexis is mortified.
Ding.
Shit.
We sit with Alexis in the excruciating 12 seconds it takes for the doors to open into the lobby. Exterior, Stockton Apartments. Day. Alexis explodes out into the sidewalk and smacks right into a guy half her size wearing round glasses. This is Cyrus, 22. This elastic transfer of momentum launches Cyrus towards the lively city street.
Jesus!
Alexis grabs his shirt and baton twirls him back onto the sidewalk, catching his glasses as they fall off. They stare at each other. Neither knows what just happened.
Here's your glasses. Have a good after. Sorry. Later.
She folds the glasses and tries to put them back on Cyrus's face. Sadly, the glasses have been folded. He grabs them, still trembling. Alexis scampers down the sidewalk. Exterior, crosswalk continuous. A big red hand shines on the sign across the street. Alexis waits for the light and lifts her face to the sky. God has abandoned her.
Beep.
Alexis crosses the street. Exterior, music building, day. Alexis dashes over a grassy lawn. She passes a tall, scruffy dude carrying a guitar. This is Phil, 22. He notices Alexis, Legend of Sky Soul's Adventure 2 shirt.
Oh, hey, I like your shirt.
Thanks. It's green.
Yeah, dude.
Interior, music building, day. Alexis slams the door open, her spirit broken. In the hallway, she stumbles in exhaustion, locates room 4. Interior practice room continuous. Alexis plops down on the floor, closes her eyes, squeezes them shut tighter and tighter.
A dandelion? Let it be. Let it go. Dandelion. Dandelion.
She inhales and opens her eyes. The air conditioning buzzes quietly, comfortingly. Soft shadows from foliage outside dance on the wall, a moment of quiet hope.
I'm gonna meet new people today. Oh, totally clean, non-awkward, late, totally.
She pauses, quirks an eyebrow, and looks at her phone. 9:59.
Is everybody else late too?
Someone coughs. Alexis looks up. In the doorway, Phil, Cyrus, and Phi, drenched in coffee, peer into the room. Alexis dies inside. The others pause, then shuffle in awkwardly. And then, to courageously break the ice, Phil whips out a phone with a narwhal decal.
10 o'clock. Let's go. Roll call.
The others winces at Phil's pep as he unlocks his phone. He proceeds with his best sports announcer impression.
Cyrus Waste.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Phil looks at the name Fioftura on his screen. Phi, fresh out of box, cuts him off.
Python, here.
Alexis Carter.
She responds with a scared noise.
Let me find me.
Richie. Huh? Phil, Richie present.
Phil gives the room a thumbs up.
Sweet. Let.
Oh, there's
Not me.
No.
Cyrus.
Oh,
Dan.
hold it. Who's the violinist again?
Cyrus casts a scrutinizing eye towards Phi and Alexis.
I'm contralto. I guess you're the pianist?
And I got your
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah, I can see that.
Cyrus focuses on Alexis. For someone with the constitution of a Trisket, he's quite intimidating.
So, where's your violin? We're supposed to decide on a piece to perform today, and I want to make sure our options aren't limited by anyone's skill level.
That's a good question. Superb. Great. Great job on that question.
5 seconds pass. She is unable to come up with an excuse. Phil is confused by the tension in the room, but ever vibing decides to disregard it.
We're all professionals here, bro. No need to worry. We got this shit in the bag.
Phi, tired of the children squabbling, cracks open her binder.
Yeah, no big deal. Let's just do some spitballing today and get everything organized next week.
He gives Alexis one more chilly look as he turns to the piano. She cringes. Violinless and useless on the floor. Phi grabs the music from her binder and sets it on the piano. Phil tunes his guitar and hums enthusiastically.
So I found this cool medieval hit online. I was thinking we could do some variations and modulations of that. But if anyone else has any ideas, I'm cool with whatever.
I wrote up some shit using the melody from the second movement in the Leningrad Symphony.
Ooh, nice. That one's like dee 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 da da da.
Phil starts dancing around and picking out the chords by ear on his guitar. Phi ghosts to hand over the piano keys.
I had an idea for the Queen of the Night area, but it's not very original.
You can look at it.
Alexis quietly observes, from the outside looking in, again, her brow furrows and she leans forward.
Have you guys heard of Kalinikov?
She shrinks as her eyes fall on her.
Maybe.
No.
The Andante is his first symphony. It's like nothing I have ever heard before.
Cyrus runs through scales with one hand, doesn't look up.
It's pretty, I guess. Not exactly.
I want to hear. How do you spell it?
Vi unlocks her phone. Cyrus bristles at being shut down.
Clap, 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 clap.
Ryan, you guys did so good.
Really
Snap, snap,
onomatopoeias lasagna.
I'm not gonna lie, I lost my place a few times and all the silly.
That's
I
okay.
tried to do sound effects, but I'm actually really bad at them.
All know
These
that
are
I am
cool. I
making
loved it.
plaster casts of Oscars right now to mail to you
Whoa.
because I know where you live.
Whoa, what?
That's part
Ah, so it was you who's been sending all those messages.
Yeah, all those non-discreetly wrapped packages. It was me.
Yeah, okay.
Oh no.
Those magazine clippings were you?
Yeah, like it didn't really work because they were all from like a copy of Reader's Digest, so they're all the same font. But you know, you get the sentiment. Let's see, what end should I start from? Zach is okay. Well, you that's the typey end of the spectrum. Maybe I'll end with you and Willow then. I'm sorry. Uh, Joel, did you have any feedback?
This was a really fun script. It had a very nice tone, and well done to Cindy for such a very good portrayal of her character. Yeah, all the characters are very different, and if you removed the character names, you would be able to tell, which one is which. So that's very well done. Yeah, I like how we're seeing with what's her name, Alexis, her anxiety, and that's shown very clearly in their speech pattern, their stuttering, and also I like how you've got in the parentheticals, like stuff like "be brave," which I don't know. I feel like some people might not like, but I like it. Because I guess you would hear it both ways too. I guess it can be parenthetical. But yeah, and this is animation as well. And I don't know, with like if I didn't know that you like writing animation and I didn't know that this was animation, I think it would give me that feeling. Because it's just I think it matches the writing matches how it would look on screen, which can be a very tricky thing to do. But yeah, well done. I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Joel. Shalaman, were you here for the reading? I lose track. I keep on trying to pay attention effectively to who joins when. Let's see. Cindy. I love
I
your
loved it.
crying. You deserve an Oscar.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
casting.
I know people like that, you see.
Yeah, I want her to be somewhat relatable, but sort of in a hyperbolic way. But yeah, go
So
ahead.
did I do her okay?
Absolutely. It
Oh,
was
thank you.
stunning.
Thank you. I did like it, and like I said, I know people that are like that, and they're afraid, yet they're a mess, emotionally and mentally. But I know people that are very good at their profession, but in their personal life, they're just totally a mess. And I think this young lady has some talent, but she gets in her own way. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop me anytime you want. I'm gonna music geek here for a second. Alexis
Okay.
represents the Romance era. And so that's why she's overly emotional and jumpy and really is sort of led by her emotions. But she does have an ear for music. And when she
Yes.
does play, when she's not, well, not sure if I want to make her bad at playing in front of a crowd. That would be sort of cliche. But when she gets into it, she plays violin really well. It's just a disaster. That's the thing she has to overcome, is being a mess. So you are correct.
Thank you. That's what I felt from her.
Oh, was there anything else?
No, I said you did good, girl.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Dan, did you have any feedback?
Yeah, I did. I thought this was a lot better, and this is a lot coming together a lot better. I guess maybe I think that her nervousness is a little over the top, like a little too over the top, or maybe that was just the reading, and that's why I kept losing my place too. But it kind of comes across like this person, I don't know, how does this person not break down not I'm tongue twisting myself. How does this person put pants on without having a nervous breakdown?
They don't. Okay.
Yeah, that was
And that's about as far as I can stretch for like real like things that just screamed at me problem.
yeah, that was Connor's feedback too, is that I write her in like such a always on the verge of emotional breakdown that like it can add, very specific flavor to scenes. It can be funny, it can be, raise the tension, but it does raise the question like how do you like do anything? How are you not just like a pile of tears on the ground? So that is valid feedback, yeah.
But you know what? I think when she's in her music, she's in herself. Because for me, music is not what I do, it's who I am. So maybe that's part of her as well.
Oh, totally. She's very much that's one trope I'm really into is like being out of place except in your art. And you just
Mm-hmm.
thrive there. So but yeah, was there any other feedback then?
No.
All right, thanks, Dan. Let's see. Liska, did you have any feedback? Jason, did you have any feedback? Lasagna.
Can I have oh yay! Okay, I have feedback. I really enjoyed it in the way like I love the way you write. It's very jokey and fun. It's just like it's very cartoon. It's very cartoon of you to do that. And I really liked it. I don't think I have many criticisms, but I guess yeah, her anxiety is over the top, but I think that's just how anxiety is, to be honest. I am on the brink of tears constantly, so I can understand that. And I do feel like the last time we talked, you did build up her stress more, at least because you continued it. So that's why she was on like the floor, just squeezing her eyes and like doing all this stuff. And I like the whole be brave thing, and I like the whole like a dandelion, dandelion, dandelion thing. I don't know. I just like all the words you use. You know what? I don't have criticism. I just enjoyed myself, to be honest. I have no criticism, therefore no feedback. I am nothing. But yeah.
Dan. I'm glad to hear that you liked it. But if you do think of anything later, do type it or just pipe up and we'll give you the floor once more.
I'll
But I'm
think
glad you
super
liked it.
hard.
Hold that close to my heart. But yeah, Marcus, go ahead.
I came back just in time. I just went to take out the trash. I'm so happy.
My trash.
Yes, I was taking out the trash. No. Okay, I did read this before. We read this during animation group, which by the way, you guys should totally come to animation group. It's like super cool or whatever. But it's coming together really nicely. Like how Dan said. It's very, very like in terms of how to get an audience hooked off the bat. I think you're doing it very well. Like I think so far the reaction has been like, we like this character, and in a way where it's like you can understand her, but also it's very clearly that this is a very heightened kind of comedy and an interpretation of this character, which I really enjoy seeing. I love it. I love it. I think it makes her not only just adorable, but I think like um it allows for the audience to connect in that sense of somebody who's overstimulated consistently and constantly, and it's just like you connect to that in some way, shape, or form. And I love this character. Obviously, I have my own, so it's like I love it. In terms of like overall pacing, I think you can kind of almost excuse a bit of like the everything's quote unquote rushed, right? Because that's what it's absolutely going for. Um, I do have a little bit of like kind of a question more or less about like how because this is a pilot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like in terms of that, like I could definitely see this being like something where it's like this band of misfits who are incredibly talented and they're constantly just getting in each other's way of trying to make something like like a weird look at the process of creation where it's just like everybody has their own ideas, so everybody's super talented, but it's almost like they can never get anything ever done. You know what I mean? Like they all have like writer block in the most extreme ways. I don't know. It just seems really fun to me. Like as a good idea, a really good setup for something that could potentially branch out into more stories.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all. I have
Hi,
to say.
I have more. I have more now.
More. Tell me more.
More. Okay, I will. I I typed it out, so I'm just gonna read what I typed. I do think that the others sort of take a backseat to Alexis. It feels like they sort of blend together, though they all have like their individual moments when encountering her. Like, for example, maybe I'd like to see Cyrus cursing her the fuck out after she just like drops his glasses or something. Or like he's like yelling at her in the distance or something like that. Because like, I don't know, he seems like the type. Or Phil just being like, chin up, champ, or some shit like that. Like he just sees her and it's just like, oh, this girl looks depressed. um, or V just sort of just like wiping herself off, just like very tired, very like tired mom look sort of deal. I kind of want more from them, I suppose is what I'm saying. I want to see like more of their personality shine through uh in like the before scenes and the scenes when they're in like the room and stuff, when they're in like the studio or wherever the fuck they are. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Mhm.
But yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Right now it's sort of bare bones. Their technical first introduction. So you're right that I could push it further. I do like the idea
Okay.
of Cyrus chewing her out. Very much a thing he would do.
Yeah, and when they get there, they're all just like, "Hey, you did this to me. Hey, she also did this. Hey, me too. Actually, no, she didn't do anything that bad to me." And that's like Phil.
Maybe so. I'll have to think about that. I was gonna go with the idea of them just sort of like glossing over it, but I guess if you almost died, then you couldn't gloss over it if you learned that you could actually take a second to stop and just give that person what for.
A piece of your mind.
Piece of my piece of his tiny 96-pound mind. Yeah, I see what you mean. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
thank you, Lasagna. We'll implement that.
No problem. Yay.
And Marcus, you were finished, right?
Yeah, no, I was already done. Yep. I like it. The end.
Right. Thanks, guys. Zach says, "Well, impressed with the script. I think you mentioned this is not the start. I kind of wish we saw the start to see how Alexis got here, if she's our main character all the way through. I never get how the others react to Alexis being late / on time. Cyrus just seems to be more egotistical than the others by saying he doesn't think the composer Alexis mentions is any good. But why does he immediately hate Phil? It took me 12 seconds to read excruciating. It was a great line. Timing of pauses with exact numbers is a little strange to me. Like 5 seconds past seems so precise, I'd rather see how Alexis is physically struggling before she can answer." Okay, got it. I do see what you mean. And Yeah, I think everything would fall into place better if I actually wrote the scene first where we see how she got into this mess. I was gonna like see if anyone like totally understood, but just to clarify for the sake of giving feedback, she thought they were supposed to meet at 9:45 a.m., but the meeting was actually scheduled for 10. So everybody ended up being exactly on time, but Alexis dicked everyone over in the process. But yeah.
You know what I thought of immediately when I read his post, Zach's post? The song from Rent. 525,600 minutes. That's what I thought of immediately.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Everybody knows Rent. Or at least specifically that song. I don't know any other songs from Rent. But yeah. But yeah, thank you, Zach. I'll try to implement and take into mind some of those criticisms. Next. Monique, were you here for the reading? Or did you come in later? All right, see, Morgana. You did a great job with Fee. You have a way of masterfully portraying people who are just, they don't know how they keep going, but they do.
Well, I take that personally. I have experience. Well, what I did is I read your descriptions and I knew how to do done with shit, but reminds you to stay hydrated. I could do that. I honestly, even though I read like the beginning of this a few times now, at least I think that was the beginning. I've always liked your writing because it's sort of the thing that I like. Grounded, kind of awkward characters, and this is that. It's just something I like. I just like the setting. It's not crazy, but it's, even though I'm not a music person, it's something I can imagine being. I can imagine being Alexis, or Fee. I think those are the characters I'm closest to. And yeah, these are just the type of stories I like, and I think you did a good job. So I know that's not much, but
I'm so glad. Oh, so glad. I'm also really glad that you like the descriptions I gave for the characters in the table reads info part, but you embodied it perfectly. I'm so glad you like it. It means a lot to me. Nacho, did you have any feedback? Wait, no, sorry. Before that, Willow says, well written. Incredible to see how each draft improves. I loved Alexis, so relatable. However, it seems weird that she would enter the room, break down, and only then realize it was empty. Wouldn't she notice immediately? Love feels cheerfulness, such a contrast in personality. Would have liked to see their individual reactions to seeing Alexis. Yeah, I do need to flesh out those aspects more, and if anyone has suggestions for how they should react to seeing Alexis like individually, and how to make everything flow better in terms of like what happens regarding like her thinking she's late to the meeting when she's not, or why she even had that misconception. If there's any suggestions for that, let me know. But yeah, thank you, Willow. Who's next on the thing? Nacho, do you have any feedback? Crying into the void. And Paul, were you here for the read?
I just got here.
Oh damn! Welcome to the party, bro. Pollock, I'm gonna just ask everyone. Pollock, were you here for the read? I'm pretty sure not. But okay, great. Let's see. Roman Elliott, did you have any feedback?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was well written and I liked the characters. And it really gives a sense of the anxiety and such. maybe slash like the other characters like that she like bumps into and such, maybe like they could be a little more to them, but like ultimately I think you would get more within the episode most likely, so I don't think at this point it's like too little, but like maybe a little bit for them, but like ultimately I think it's good.
Thanks, Roman. And Sarah Bell, did you have any feedback?
Yeah, so this is the second time I heard it because I was in animation group Blossom, and I really relate to Alexis because I used to have really, really bad anxiety. So I think you portrayed that really well. I also really like the other characters and how they're all unique in their own way. So I look forward to like spending more time with them and seeing how they like clash with each other's personalities.
Oh, thanks, Sarah Bell. Well, yeah, unless anyone, I think SJ is like gonna sit this one out and just watch, but yeah, if I like skipped over everyone or you weren't here for it, just like let me know or like send me a DM later for the feedback. But yeah, I'm so glad you guys liked it, and you guys did a wonderful job reading. And as always, your feedback is very valuable to me. But what else was I gonna?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. But yeah, can't wait to divulge how sad these people really are, and the suffering they rely on, and the people in their lives who didn't give them the love they needed growing up, kind of ice cream they like to eat.
It's the exciting part. That's the best part.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the depressing backstory. My favorite.
But don't worry, I'll try to make it a 50-50 ratio of Drom and Eddie. So we'll see. But yeah,
But many of us have grown up
Eddie.
that way.
yeah. That's like you have to turn your suffering into capital. That's like the whole thing of life is doing that. But yeah,
Unfortunate.
yeah, I gotten too dark here, but yeah. Who all do I need to give coins?
Did I get any? I don't know.
I gave out the feedback coin, or yeah, I got the feedback. I need to do the voice acting coins. But brief intermission before we go into a bonus script from the blacklist to pad out more of the time.
I was gonna say I had something, but I guess it's too late to bring one forward.
I mean, yeah, we try to like get people to bring it ahead of time.
I saw the thing last night, but I just like I was like my head was crumpling, so I was like, no.
I don't know. I mean,
Aw, I kind of want to read Dan.
It's all right. Next time.
Next time.
Okay.
Well, no, now you've turned my obstinate heart.
Maybe animation group or to the whatever. I don't know if
Wait,
it's
no,
animated.
wait. Gray's heart has melted. The ice is gone.
Just
Till tomorrow.
All right.
Send it. Send it. I'm waving my scepter in the air.
Send.
Is it Space
Send.
Dogs?
Space Dog.
Space Dogs?
I hope so.
Space Dog?
Space Dog.
What?
Gray.
Marcus first.
Check the chat.
Yours is hard to say fast.
Marcus. Actually, you're right. It's, Jesus. Check the chat.
Williams, The Lark Ascending. Is this a romantic era song? The painting would have me believe that.
I bet the other chat.
Okay, oh my god. Let's see.
Stickers.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
Stickers.
It's the Rabbit Girl D.
It is.
I love her.
Stickers.
Sell it on Redbubble. I'll buy it.
Redbubble. Yeah.
Put
Nice.
it on the back of your phone.
I will put that on the back of my phone, actually.
Oh, man. So great. But yeah,
Dan,
Dan,
are you sending in your script?
Wait, I can submit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiving it for today. Lofty.
Hold on, I'm just going through for some spelling.
Got it.
Thank you for waving your scepter, Gray. Oh, gracious one.
It's just I enjoy like structure generally, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we pressure you? I'm sorry.
well, no, because like we technically didn't get any submissions this week. So we like ask people in the VIP chat then if they have anything they want to submit. But yeah. What's the gif of the guy in the sombrero? He's like, I'll let it slide.
I didn't even I haven't seen it in the VIP chat. I would have submitted my script for reading again.
Oh dang it, wait. Did I not tag all the people?
I might not have like looked at it.
You snoozed. You lose.
Your own downfall, Paul.
Wait. I should have tagged Boot Camper too. Ah. Sorry guys. I'm a damn fool. But yeah, I'll tag VIP and Boot Camper next time on the chat.
No losed.
No losed. I'm a fool. But Marcus, talk about D. You don't even have to talk about like the whole thing. You can just talk about the character D.
Okay. D is basically Alexis, but with extra steps. D is a character from a project that I'm currently making. It is a animated short film for school / also for me. She is a rabbit, little rabbit, 20 something who didn't go to college and decided that I'm gonna follow the dream and goes to our stand-in for Hollywood. And she's like, I'm gonna, because I'm good. I'm good at my art and I can do all this. I'm just gonna get a job right off the bat. And to her much to her disappointment, she's been working a dead-end job for 2 years, and she is struggling to make it by, and also thinking that she made a horrible decision. And me. Yeah, that's D. She is a anxious ball of fur, and also a little bit of an egotist, but we all kind of are, as artists do. That is her. Her story is a lot more detailed. That's it.
Now you can have stickers of her.
Yes, you can have stickers of her coming soon.
Buy D's World merch right now with the code.
Yes. Buy the emotional support plush of her.
I just don't start selling almonds or something, because then people will definitely eat these nuts.
Yes, they will. They will. That's been an ongoing joke in the staff server. Is they desperately want us to sell like nut cans because they think it would be funny.
Why'd you have to take it there? You always lead us astray.
It's the obvious joke.
We have a
It's
fear
the
that
obvious
you put plushie in a jar, a mason jar, if you
will. No, don't say that. You're gonna make it true.
Yeah, we're waiting for it, sadly.
Damn.
That is fun. Yeah, that's it. That's her. That's her story is about the animation industry. That's all, folks. We're done with story.
No space talks for you this week.
They're here! Yeah, Dan. You posted it.
Yeah, boy, it's in the regular chat as opposed to it's in the chat. God, so cramped in there. But yeah, I'm gonna copy paste this into the.
And which one is this?
Don't worry, because I'm going to stream it again. But it'll be in the same channel again. The Table Reads info.
Is this Dying Help?
No, it's the one that's about to appear in a few seconds.
I have
I
some
know
feedback
we
on
had-
Dying Help.
What?
Is that it? No. Meme
yeah,
Wars?
No, it.
And could
The PDF
you?
isn't there yet.
Nacho said he had feedback on something.
Oh, hang on, real quick, Dan. Could you post the PDF into Table Reads info? Okay, but Nacho, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I had some feedback on your script, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I don't
generally,
have
like,
permission to put it in
your
table.
writing on the page is really strong. Like, I've had a chance to read, I think, a few different versions of this. You have a lot of great, little moments, like when Alexis explodes onto the sidewalk and, smacks into Cyrus. I mean, there's a lot of really funny moments. I like the line a lot. For someone with the constitution of a Trisket, he is quite intimidating. And I think, yeah, your writing on the page is really strong. Like, I think, there's a couple lines that are just a little bit like confusing or, could be like tweaked a bit. But I think just the biggest thing is, if this is the end of the scene, I want to see some kind of, it feels like you're building to something with Alexis, sort of opening up with her music suggestion. And then, so we need a little, I don't know, kind of button on the end of the scene or something to kind of, maybe it felt like it was sort of like not quite finished.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep it 5 pages, but I do plan on a moment for them, like, listening to the song and, like, Cyrus kind of softening and seeing what she means, or, like, seeing that she's passionate about it, and that maybe she's not just a incompetent lint ball. So,
Yeah. So yeah, write the whole thing, write the rest. I look forward to reading it. So
What is the song again?
I think just
I'll type it in
is
the
this about, is this going to be like 30 minutes
Um,
or like a
a
12-minute?
web series I wanna make
pilot?
someday. I'm not gonna give it to a studio or anything, so it's all full of pudding and uncertainty. But if, like, you hold a gun to my head and tell me to choose one, it would be 30 minutes.
Like the scenes are kind of working like in just in terms of like, somebody's trying to do something and, it's interesting. They're like, it works. I would just like write the rest of it out, or, if you need to beat out what's the other scenes are going to be. But like, I think, I wouldn't like fiddle with it too much. Like, I wouldn't worry too much about perfecting just this scene until you have the whole thing down. Like, I just get it on the page and it's, you know, like it's something I would definitely continue reading.
Thanks, Nacho. And yeah, I'll definitely, like, feel like I come to every event whenever I bring a script. I'm like, "Oh, I know, it came to me in a fever dream in the middle of the night, and no, I haven't worked out how the story goes yet. Just take it." So I'll definitely try to make a skeleton for the story so it has more direction and I can give you guys more helpful context. But yeah, thank you, Nacho. And yes, does everyone see the War of the Elves Draft 2 PDF?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, sorry, Dan, I forgot that you don't have permissions to post in the other channel. But let's see.
It's
This
impromptu.
impromptu. That's like a word you can use to describe music. Okay. Anyway, this is War of the Elves.
Yes, that is quite a word you can use for what writers.
Yeah. I mean, he's for a lot of things. But this is the War of the Elves from Dan. This is a fantasy / romance. Is it TV pilot, right? It wasn't a feature. One of them. The logline is when a free-spirited elven sorceress begins a relationship with a sworn enemy, Dark Elf, who lost her daughter. She must keep this relationship secret, lest they both risk losing their treasonous heads. And yeah, here are the characters. Also, Dan, I would like to know the format because I think that will greatly affect the feedback we give.
Oh, it is a pilot.
Okay, TV pilot. Yep, got it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go down the line, casting characters. I'm gonna handle direction. All right. And if you hear a part you want, just speak up. This is Baria, young and adult. All manner of
In other
Baria.
words, she appears as a child and an adult.
Yes. You see her entire life.
She's confused.
A little bit. Cindy, did you want to be Baria?
Sure, I'll be Baria, Lorana, anybody you want me to be.
Yahoo! There we go. Who wants to be Daddy / Elgrand?
I will.
Didn't mean to bring it there. Thank you, Morgana.
Yeah.
I entrust you and you alone with this task.
Huh.
Lorana?
I can do that.
I can try it. Oh, never mind.
Fight to the death. Let's see.
Give it to lasagna. It sounds like a lasagna answer.
Let's see. Joe, would you like to be a judge?
I
Would you
can
like
be
that
a judge.
position of power?
I can be anyone.
Roman, can you be Balbart?
Balbart?
Balbart.
Okay, yeah.
I assume. Arvine. Anyone for Arvine? Arvine.
Who will be Arvine?
Not for Arvine. After I did that, was it Dolly Parton? No.
Dolly Parton, yes.
Okay, great.
Jolene by Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
A masterpiece song.
You're always there to fact check me. Damn, son, will I have to be Arvine? Guess I gotta go steal a man. Let's see. And Gruff High Elf. Anyone for the part of Gruff High Elf? That sounds like an extra name, so I assume it's not a very major role.
It is one line at the very end.
Yeah. Who wants to be the closer?
I'll do it.
Yay, thank you, Joe. You are the judge, the end, the alpha, the omega. Right. And this time I'm going to watch the stream so I can see what's happening in the chat. Okay, great.
Oh, so much better.
No, Marcus had to leave. Goodbye, Marcus. Okay, here we go. Maybe I won't see what's happening in the chat because if I keep it open, the screen is really small. So nobody do anything. Interior wooden cabin, day. The cabin is homey, remote. The kind of cabin that doesn't want anyone to visit. A young child with pointed large ears. Beria looks 9. Bouncy, very child.
Daddy!
She runs upstairs, opens a door. Daddy looks 30, is there. Very naked, his ears also pointy. Definitely a wood elf, and the buxom, equally elfish lady looks 20, agrees. Silvery white hair, one key difference.
Why's that lady blue, Daddy?
Hi, Baria, sweetie. Daddy is,
Prelap, slam, interior, wooden cabin labor. Speech is my passion. Interior wooden cabin later. Baria bursts at the scenes. Lorana looks 30s, an elf donned in theater with a bow on her back glares at her daughter. That's Cindy.
Hi, Mom.
I know
Said
he has
hi, Mom.
Oh, you did? Anyway, I know he has
Daddy
a horrible...
told me to say nothing.
Lorana grabs her daughter's shoulders, and emanates from her fingers, pulses to her daughter's head.
Tell me.
Envelops Baria's body.
Stop resisting the charm magic.
I won't tell you about the pretty blue lady.
Varia bites her lip. The energies fade. The mother puts her daughter down slowly. Her mouth opens, fury seething through her pores. Cut to exterior town square, day. Lorana screams.
Ah! Bastard! Harlot! You lay with the blackest evil and forced me to swear in front of my daughter. Therefore...
Pale-skinned elves flock to the square, the streets lined with trade carts and merchants and cottages and taverns. Standard fantasy fare. The looks upon Barry's father show naught but disgust. A noose sways in the center of town. Barry's father stands before it, bound. A judge, looks 50s, stands at attention. Behind him, a waif-like skeletal thin elf in regal robes, looks 60s, oversees all.
Elgrand Bronzeleaf, fighter, wizard, traitor.
Elgron rolls his eyes.
You are hence accused of bedding the most vile of dark elves.
He holds a strand of white hair, retches.
Dark elven hair strands henceforth were found in all cabin. Treason to Democrat shall be punished with death.
No regrets. You'll learn the truth. You're all innocent.
He glares at the king.
Butcher.
The crowd gasps. Lorana's glare fixates upon her husband. Barya grips her leg, teary.
Daddy! Mom! They...
Silence, child, or you join him.
Barya sobs uncontrollably.
May judgment be swift.
The judge faces the king, kneels.
King Brahma, your word.
The king eyes the apprehended elf. A flash of craving in his eyes goes unseen.
Do justice, but allow me to send the body to its final rest, privately.
The elves all bow.
Justice be served.
Elgran is pushed into the noose. Snap. The bag falls off his head at his daughter's feet. With his final breath, father and daughter share a look.
Live for love. Be not
Elgran goes limp. Barya tears never cease. He hugs up on the corpse. The crowd cheers.
1,000 platinum coins for a head of a foul dark elf that forced us to kill a fine battle mage with her seductive evil.
And hence I shall privately see his spirit gets no final rest.
The crowds drown out all the other sounds. Elgran's dead face animates. Dead eyes, dead-eyed on Barya.
Barya. Barya. Barya.
Cut to exterior Mystic Forest, day. Barya! Barya, looking closer to mid-20s, awakens, clinging tightly to a woman. Barya tidies her wizardly robe and rummages her sides. Her hands grip a tome that glows to her touch. Sigh of relief. She snaps awake. The forest about sings with the vim of the life of the birds and insects. Color, glowing mushrooms and leaves. Barya smiles, eyes locking on a woman as blue as the one in her dream. Arvine looks late 20s, donned in flexible and form-fitting chain. She brushes her hair away, silvery white, contrast her dark blue skin, puts her finger to Barry's mouth. Arvine, in spite of her blue skin, has visibly baggy eyes. Stands up, crossbow at the ready, intense look. Faint, the sound of battles in the distance, screams of pain and howls of anguish. You were bold. Barry's smile would seduce a eunuch.
'Twas your idea, Arvine, if that is your real name.
Arvine grins. Perhaps we lied to each other.
Perhaps most potential lovers do.
Barya kisses Arvine's cheek. Arvine flinches. She's afraid of emotion. Forest battle. The camera pan to a battle nearby. Nature is quiet. The mushrooms glow not at all. The leaves pulsate a dull whimpering noise. Pale elves and the dark elves clash. Warriors at the front line swing sword, axe, and spear. Elves scream. Bodies crumple. Arrows and rocks fly. Fire, ice, and bolts of acid energies blast the battlefield. The trees melt and freeze. The clearing, now louder. The battle interrupts the cuddles. The ladies jolt up from seated snuggles. Arvine sniffs the air, closes her eyes for a moment. Your friends approach.
Friends? You be funny too.
A scream in the distance. I think that's Joel.
Port of Bluebit. Detained.
Damnation.
I've an idea.
Varia lowers her robe. Nothing beneath. Not the time. Also, I'm married.
That's why you wanted this?
Varia shoves a knife hilt first into Arvine's hand.
Stab and run.
Arvine blinks rapidly. What? What? Varia bites her lip.
You get to be a sexy hero who stabbed a wizard? Hurry up!
Arvine lays the knife in Arvine's hand and then stab. Varia bleeds out her mouth, holding Arvine's thrusting hand to her chest. Blood pitters. Varia smiles weakly, puts a shiny red gemmed ring in Arvine's hand. What is this crazy lady doing?
Run!
Arvine slides the knife out of the wizard. Footsteps grow louder. Arvine scampers, fumbling the ring upon her finger. Ring emits faint glow. Varia collapses. The high elves surround her. They talk. She can't understand a word. The world goes dark. Great job reading, everyone. It's epic. And thank you, Dan, for sharing.
Thank you for letting me.
Yeah. And where did I... Yeah, it's not... Wait, no, it is listed here. Feedback we're looking for. Does the protagonist make sense? Are you drawn into the world? And general feedback, always welcome. So yeah, Joe, is it alright if I start with you again?
I'm gonna have to reread the last scene because I lost it. I got lost there, but I'll give you feedback in a bit.
Yeah. Cindy, did you have any feedback?
I liked how it's written. I liked the action in it. And as I was reading this, so I'm a little confused. Varia was 9 when this opened, is that correct?
Well, in elf years, yes.
Okay, around that. Now, as we go along here, I'm not sure how much time lapses before she does this deed toward the end of what you've submitted.
Oh, I guess I should have. To be fair, true, I probably should have indicated some level of time skip. She's not 9 with this older lady. The world isn't. This world isn't that twisted.
I understand. I just, as I'm reading this, I want to know, well, what happened? She was 9 when she ran into this lady with her dad. And then as we move along, how much time had passed? That's all that my concern was.
Well, that's why I'm saying Barry now looking closer to mid-20s.
Ah, okay.
I figured that might be enough. But if not, I could add like an over saying how many years, although it's going to be weird because elves live long.
Now, did we say that she's 20 as we went along? In here? I didn't see that, but maybe I missed.
Daria looking closer to mid-20s awakens in the at the start of the Mystic Forest scene.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not missing it.
That's a fair point.
Was that all, Cindy?
I think so at the moment.
Okay. Let's see, Liska, how's your internet now? Is that what was cutting out?
Yeah, sorry about that, Joel. You're the computer genius guy, so sorry, really, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. I wasn't able to follow. I don't think that it's Dan's fault though. I don't hear you guys saying anything. I wasn't able to follow it. Not because I got, my mind was like completely on something else over here, so I have to read it.
Yeah, if you end up reading it later, you can put feedback here or DM it or whatever. But let's see, Lasagna, did you have any feedback?
Hello. I suppose I do. I guess I while we were reading it, I guess I found that the action lines were worded a bit awkwardly. They were a bit awkward, but I do like your voice in this line, like the what theme made me laugh. I liked it, but I do think that the action lines happen to be worded a bit awkward. Like this cabin is homey, remote, the kind of cabin that doesn't want anyone to visit. It's a bit stilted in the way it's worded, and also just kind of like you kind of get the sense that when it's remote, no one's visiting. Um, and I don't know, the action lines just struck me as a little odd, and
No, I can
some of
understand
the
completely what you're
yeah.
saying. It's saying the same thing. It's repeating itself.
Oh, sorry, but yeah,
Oh
that's what
no,
it
you're
is.
not repeating yourself. It is. The line is, and you're right.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got worried for a second. Okay, and I see that you added something. Stop resisting the charm magic. I have read this before, so
Oh yeah,
it's
I
kind of
made
interesting to
some.
see
I did
changes.
make a change to that, which I'm thinking of putting in.
Right. Uh, I guess I also find it to be the structure of it to be very, I don't know, come back to me. I need to think.
That's fine. Monique, did you have any thoughts on the script? Monique. Let's see. Morgana, do you have any feedback?
I actually kind of liked it. I thought that I'm not a fantasy guy, but I thought that the fantasy world was pretty done well. You kind of got a good sense of the setting. Um, I'm just looking at the logline here. So Baria, she's the free-spirited elven sorceress, I'm guessing, and the blue person is the sworn enemy. Is that right? Or
Well, the blue people are yes.
okay. So the blue elf, dark elf, that's the same person that the dad was with?
No.
Okay. Okay, so now that I know that, that makes more
It's
sense.
basically an indication that, like, and basically, I'm trying to say she's very much daddy's girl.
Yeah. That would have been a weird thing, but okay, so that makes more sense.
The world isn't that fucked up.
I don't know, but okay. So is there like a war going on, or like is there tensions between? Okay, so there is
tensions, war. In fact, we've already met the main villain.
All right.
Anyway.
So honestly, my feedback is like I need to see more. That's not real feedback, but it looks like you get into the action like right as we ended it. And page 6, which is pretty fast. That's good. It's not like taking a while. So I think there's potential because even though it's a fantasy, which isn't my thing, it's you could make like you could take this in any setting and like make it a political thriller for
It kind of is. And
yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of doing what Jason was doing with his story and making it about war, except I'm saying, as I was saying, alluding to earlier, I'm just taking the stance: war bad, stop war.
Yeah.
Everybody in this is being duped. Even the guy is saying that, and that's the real reason that the king wants this guy dead.
So is there like a grand evil is kind of orchestrating the tensions?
Yeah. Debate. You guys don't care if I spoil it, but pretty much the king and the leader of the dark elves are actually in cahoots, secret lovers, and the king is actually an undead guy who needs to be funneled, needs plenty of spirit and spirited energy to feed him his eternal life with her.
All right. So yeah, I was wondering, like,
In other
what
words,
are they
it is
fighting?
literally in other words, yes, this is literally. It's everything you would. It's like a literal version of what we all think of the liberal elite actually doing, or whatever people, the conspiracy theories say.
Well, it'll be interesting just going off those few plot points to see where this goes, because yeah, I was wondering, like, why are they fighting? Why do they hate each other? I assume that there was a grand evil forcing this, and
Even in the way people are talking, they're like, "We had to kill this guy, and it's all her fault, not our fault for putting a noose around his neck, for. We don't care that he was a cheating son of a gun. We just care that he slept with the color of the skin."
Right.
yeah.
I was wondering if the tone came off that way.
Maybe it was a little confusing, but overall, I kind of liked it. I don't know. I was reading it, so that's probably why. I was the guy who was getting my head cut off. But yeah, I like the ideas. I tell you that.
Could I add something? I don't want to cut anybody off.
Yeah, I think where God is done.
Okay. When we look at where it says forest battle, I love that part. A camera panned to a battle nearby. Ah, nature is quiet. The mushrooms glow. Not at all. The leaves pulsate a dull whimpering noise. Male elves and the dark elves clash. Warriors at the front lines swing sword, axe, and spear. Elves scream, bodies crumple. Arrows and rocks fly. Fire, ice, and pulsate acid and energies blast the battlefield. The trees melt and freeze. I love that part.
Really? I thought that was amateur.
I liked it. Did I read it okay?
Yeah, you read it great.
Thank you. But that's how I felt it. I love how that part is written. Very descriptive.
Well, thank you, Cindy. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Let's see, on to Nacho. Do you have any feedback? I feel I've neglected you today, Nacho. Keep on having to cry out for me to recognize your
I
rights.
feel like he sort of waits till the end. He sort of compiling
Oh,
all
okay.
his brain thoughts. His brain thoughts? What is that? Yeah.
Yeah,
His
Nacho
brain
always
thoughts,
gives
not his foot thoughts.
he always gives very thorough feedback, so I guess you're right. He'll come around when the world needs him most. But let's see, Paul, did you have any feedback? Paul, my friend. Pollock, what about you? Did you say something earlier, Pollock, when I think you said something? It might have just been that you just came in. Okay, well, wait, no, you have your mic on.
Hello.
Hi, okay, hello.
Yeah, I like the script. I especially like the descriptions are actually very funny. Especially with the very pointy, very bouncy, very child. I like those descriptions. Made me laugh. Especially when it's like very bleak at times. So that's actually kind of nice. It's a very, very hilarious description. Hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, Pollock. Roman,
All right.
yeah, I didn't want to cut you off, but if you do have something, just let me know. I feel like I'm always interrupting people before they're done. But
No, I don't have anything right now.
oh,
Just
Good, good, good. Roman Elliott, did you have any feedback?
I like it. I think there's a lot there that works. Yeah, some of the like action is a little bit like maybe there's some of your voice in there, and I think that's good. But sometimes you like some lines like feel like they're repeating the same sort of thing, but that can be changed. I think that's okay. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think there's potential with this world as well. I would maybe there's just more context that I would want to know, but that's like later in the story anyway. So I wouldn't at this point have the context for it. But like, is there more like why do they have this war? Like, is it simply just because they look different, or is it deeper than that? And
Oh, it's
all
a
that.
deeper thing that'll be explained throughout this.
Yeah, I assumed it
Well,
would.
you'll
So
learn by
that's all.
the end why the war is being fabricated.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Roman. And let's see, Sarah Bell, did you have any feedback?
I was very confused, but I think it's kind of what Roman said, that I would want more context as to why these two are fighting, why the dark elves and the light elves are fighting. I got confused. I didn't realize Arvine was a dark elf. I went back and I noticed it was in the description, so that was my bad. But so is she just kind of repeating her father's story, or is it going to go into more detail about how these two met and everything?
It's gonna get what?
How Abaria met Arvine.
Yeah, it will go into that. I don't know. I was inspired by, I forget the name of the show. It came out recently, some anime, but and that's why I wanted to write it kind of in a similar style.
Okay. Yeah, like I guess the only thing I would be interested in is a little bit more backstory, a little bit more explanation as to why these two are fighting. But if that's what you're leading with, if that's information that's going to be drastically shown throughout the story, then that's fine.
Absolutely, it's the driving force of the story.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Sarah Bell. And let's see, Willow. I don't want to risk it unless you want to risk it. Can break our hearts all over again. Wait, no. Did you type some earlier? I'm gonna check. You did write a little bit. Willow says, I misunderstood the beginning. I didn't realize that the bad thing about Blue Elf was her blueness. I thought she was a prostitute. Which, yeah, I guess there's a lot about it that's upsetting to the wife, but But yeah, is your internet better right now, Willow? Is it still having weirdness? Oh well. But does anyone else have any feedback? Did I skip? Joel, we skipped over you, right? Or did we not?
I don't think I have anything to add. Just that I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, I can't really think of any articulate feedback right now, but I really love the opening scene you chose. We just get right to the meat and potatoes of it. There's not really any dancing around like, get you settled into this world. Like, we're just thrown right in, and I appreciate that. So yeah, thanks for sharing, Dan. I hope some of the feedback helps.
Yeah, very much helps. Thank you all.
Woo! But yeah, let's see. Might just go ahead and end the event here. I have to do a thing at 7. It's 6:25 here. But yeah, do any of the mods here feel strongly about it either way? Nacho, were you gonna blast in with thorough epic feedback?
No.
Dan.
Nacho has nothing to say. That's an interesting time.
No, I think he's doing something worthwhile. I trust him. But yeah, I'm gonna try.
Nachos making nachos.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I might go back through and like annotate it just to give it useful feedback, because I have a very bad habit of like the things that I notice along the way like not occurring to me when it's my time to tell you about it. So I might just DM you an annotated version later. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to Table Reads this week. I hope you all had fun. Remember that you can always submit a 5-pager for free and a thingy. Oh, thank you, whoever posted that. You can post a full-length TV pilot or feature reading for 100 script coins. You can get flip-flops, I think, at the store. Check out the store. But yeah, and really hope you guys got some content. There's the store. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your script with us.
Yeah, you guys did such a good job reading it.
Can I ask something real quick? How do I go to leave server to close this?
You should see a phone with an X next to it.
Never leave server. Never click that
Okay.
button. That will.
I should see.
You're right, but you can never leave.
Okay, I will never do that. Oh, a phone with the X. I see.
Nacho, you are here. I thought you weren't here. We were like, hey, Nacho, what did you have to say? Nothing.
Yeah. In fact,
did you have any feedback for the script, Nacho?
Yeah. So I've just read half of it so far, but the opening, I think, it's just a couple of things that I wasn't like clear on. Baria mentions, why is that lady Blue Daddy? But you didn't describe her as blue. So just, making it like really clear for the reader. Okay.
That's what I was trying to do it in a clever way. She's the same except for one thing. Why is she blue?
Oh, okay. I see. So you're trying to like lead something and then, where you say something is like you're kind of leading to something and then you reveal that in the dialogue. There's ways to do that. There's ways to do that. It wasn't quite connecting for me.
I wanted to avoid a sort of repetition. If I had said, this lady in silvery white hair, blue skin, Daddy, why is she blue? That's repeating that's a waste of you know what I mean? That's repetition. I wanted to avoid that.
Yeah, so I mean, it just right now it's not working for me the way that it's done. So it could work, with describing her. I mean, a wood elf, I don't really associate the color blue. I mean, I don't even know what a wood elf looks like exactly in this world, but I wasn't picturing somebody blue, right? And then when she says, why is that lady Blue Daddy? It almost suggests like she's talking about somebody else that she sees in the room or something, right? And then you have a pre-lap where there's like a slam, but we don't see, like, when you cut to the next scene, we would be expecting to kind of see what was making that slamming noise, right?
I meant to imply that the mother had just stormed into the room, into the cabin.
Yeah, so like, something like a door, she slams it, she's shutting the door or something. Or maybe just cut the pre-lap and just cut to the scene and show her like slamming the door or something. But just one small note, like your parentheticals, a little bit. So usually we just use parentheticals for clarity, right? Like where the reader might be confused if they didn't like you know, someone's being sarcastic or something, or just not, you know what I mean? But like where you might misunderstand the meaning of the line, right? So where we have a lot of like action lines, this is sometimes you see this a lot in like stage plays, but generally for, you know, modern screenplays, we would move out these little actions out to like an action line. So I would, you know, like, you know, eyes shift, winces, struggling, you know, some of these like parentheticals that would just move out into like an action line, unless it's like, you know, really relevant to like the line, right? But yeah, I'll continue reading this one and then maybe share my thoughts later on when we chat.
Thank you.
Okay. Now that our grand finale has come to pass, as the prophecies foretold, I will outro. Yes. Thank you all for coming. Submit. Go to the links for the forms, the submission forms, and like if you have 5 pages of content, just it's free. And like we didn't have any scripts submitted this week, so we had to. But yeah, give me content so I can gobble it down. The hungry beast I am. But other events on the server, we have animation writers group tomorrow. After that, we have fantasy workshop coming up in half an hour. Be sure to attend that. Tuesday script swap. Tuesday horror workshop. But yeah, and a lot more. Check out that event roster. I guarantee it. You'll have a good time.
Bye-bye, honey.
Bye,
Thank you.
Cindy. See you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Take care.
Bye, Grace.
We bid adieu.